Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kay, and I'm here today to talk about season 2, baby. We in season 2. So I'm gonna do season 2, episode 1. And basically I took a few notes on the episode, just some things that stuck out to me. Hopefully I don't make this video too long because my season 1 reviews was mad long, but you know, like when the show was good, the show was good. Shout out to all y'all in the Swaggerverse. Hey friends. We start off episode 1. Episode 1 starts off at the end of their junior year of high school. So like Jace and all the boys is playing at Cedar Cove Prep, and then Phil is playing at Seat Pleasance. Crystal is still at Seat Pleasance. It is to be assumed that Crystal and Jace are not speaking currently. We don't know why yet, but we do see Jace go on Instagram and he clicks Crystal's story and she has a boyfriend. So Jace is still keeping tabs on Crystal. Also, what made me think about that was Jace starts entertaining Amber. I ain't feeling Amber. Even if, you know, Amber wasn't Amber. If Amber was somebody else, I might have felt that other person. I was not here for Amber. Sorry. It gave me private school, like that whole situation him and Jace her and Jace was giving very much, you know, private school stuff, you know, basketball stuff, you know, typical. It was typical. And I was just like, Jace, please. I think because Jace's feelings was hurt about the whole thing with Crystal and her new boyfriend, he is now entertaining Amber. I don't even feel like he even is really into Amber, but that's neither here nor there. Jenna and Jace visit UCLA as an option. Jace is being scouted by UCLA, so he takes a tour. Jenna goes with him. They show him around. He says he likes the school, but he's not really feeling it because it's too far from home. He asks his mama what she thinks, and she agrees that it is too far from home. On the contrary, we see Crystal in her living room with her parents, and she's in there with two coaches, and they're talking. Come to find out, the two coaches are from UMD. UMD has been like Crystal's #1 school that she's been wanting to go to since she was 14. She says she's been a fan, and also that is a school that the coach who was trifling to her promised that he was gonna get her in. So she goes in her room, and you see she touches her board. She touches a picture of her and Jace. Obviously, even though her and Jace are not speaking, she's still thinking about Jace as well. And so she picks up her phone to text Jace that she's been offered a full scholarship to the school. But she has some hesitancy, so she deletes the whole message. So, obviously, I feel like in the end, Jace and Crystal are in game, but we just got to go through the necessary measures in order to get us there, guys. Also, with her deleting the message, that also led me to believe that something has occurred between her and Jace. They in a weird place right now, and I don't know what happened. It has been 4 years since, so they were going to 9th grade, and now they're going to 12th grade when all this is happening. And so the new season of basketball is beginning to begin. Of course, Jace is still highly ranked in the country, as well as Crystal. Phil is still at Seat Pleasance, but the other guys are playing at Cedar Cove, which I already said. The head coach for Cedar Cove then leaves at the last game after they win a championship. Or it's the beginning of senior season, actually. The coach tells the players that he is leaving to pursue an opportunity to coach collegiately at the University of North Carolina. hey, shout out to the Tar Heels because, Tar Heels, period. I rep any school from NC, period, because NC is where all the ballers come from. Ask your mama. Only the GOAT came from NC, so it's only right to talk junk. Let's see. The head coach leaves after the state championship to pursue a collegiate opportunity. I noticed Jace's face when he received the news as well. Jace definitely felt the way about the coach leaving because the coach told him he would be there to bring them another championship. And rightfully so. We already know Jace kind of has some trust issues. To me, it's very reminiscent of Billy Baker, what's the Spencer's dad, like his abandonment issues. He feel like everybody's always leaving him. And it's kind of reminiscent the same way with Jace. Like, he has trust issues. And so now he just, coerces the team to just, clap it up for the coach because, the show like they supportive when they all are in their feelings right now. Ike, Jenna, Jace, and Tanya are having a dinner. And this is, was a good scene to see. It's progression because Ike and Jenna had a lot of friction in season 1, even though Jenna was the one who asked Ike to basically take Jace, under his wing and coach him. A lot of people thought that Jenna was a bad mom and she was toxic. I, on the other hand, felt the opposite. There were some things that I felt like Jenna could have done better, but in the end, she wants the best for Jace, and sometimes that may come over in the wrong way. But Jenna is also the one who presents the opportunity to become coach at Cedar Cove to Ike, and of course, because she's Jace's mom, she feel like she can go and pull rank at the athletic department to get Ike on. So she says something to the AD about it. And this was also right after, I think the principal at Seat Pleasance came to one of the Swagger DMV's facility to ask if Ike would consider taking the job at Seat Pleasance. And of course, Ike has all these memories tied up with being at Seat Pleasance. A lot of positive. I mean, he started his game there. His career was there. He finished his career there. But it's also a lot of bad memories because he will also be living in his father's shadow. And we also have seen Ike, come to terms with the fact that, moving forward with what happened with his father, forgiving himself, forgiving his father, and letting go of the things that he didn't get to say to his father. And so Ike kind of has to deal with the whole thing going back and forth with whether or not he wants to create his own path or whether he wants to follow in the footsteps of his father. Ike meets with the AD of Cedar Cove to get a feel for the school. Zoe puts in a word with the head of the school so that I can get the job. Ike met with the AD, which his name is Mr. Lawson. It's a little bit of friction going on with them because I feel like Ike feels like Mr. Lawson is one of the uppity blacks, one of the blacks that feel like, that they are too good and that they only deserve the best of the best because they trying to get a seat at the table. And he feels like Ike, to me, is undeserving of the job because of where Ike comes from. Ike didn't graduate from college. Ike, was working at the tool store. He's like, his resume was not good enough, even though Ike is a local legend and everybody respects Ike. They respect Ike's place in the game. They respect everything Ike did for that area. But the AD don't care about none of that. He just care about making sure that he feels like he's paving the way. I mean, his logic isn't wrong, but it's kind of, to me, the way he go about it is wrong because he wants people to respect. He called them inner city kids, but I didn't agree with trying to make trophies out of them. He was like, because these kids are trying to create a futuristic opportunity, not for you to try to grease the wheels and come up off of them. You know, he thinks that he's providing a seat at the table for people coming after him. He said because before he got there, there wasn't that many at that school. Zoe, the rep for Gladiator. We see that the relationship between Zoe and Ike and Meg, and everybody is in a different place now because Meg had been tugging at Zoe strings to do the right thing for the longest, but now because Jace is at Cedar Grove and he feel like it's his last year, Zoe is trying to put in a word with the head of the prep school to basically get Ike's job and pull strings because she want the money. She want the sponsorship from Gladiator Shoes. She want all the sports to get, you know, paraphernalia, get the shoes, get the, you know, everything basically. And then in return, Gladiator looks good because the school's looking good. You know what I'm saying? The business of basketball, y'all. It can get very tricky, very deceptive, very messy. It's very sharky. I said that in my season 1 reviews, but you know, we're moving forward. Sometimes I feel like I don't trust Zoe, and I feel like it's because, I mean, I know it's because of what, you know, occurred in season 1, but I'm trying to extend Zoe grace because he finally tried to come around, but it's just the fact that now, you know, Jace is there, Nick is there, Phil is there, you know, all of them are there. So, you know, anyways, though, and Ike meets with Jace to have a conversation about his headspace. So basically, Ike takes Jace to the old gym that they used to practice in when they was playing AAU, and Jace basically tells Ike where he is at mentally. He says he's afraid. He says he's been freaking out. He's been stressing out. You know, it's a lot on him right now. He got the NIL deals going because, you know, high schools can now get paid. Where was this at when I was in school? But that's neither here nor there. And it's just crazy because they amateurs. They're not even professionals yet. So they're getting all this stuff. But anyway, it's building a brand. You know, I'm not mad at it. I mean, I understand, but then I don't understand. But then, you know, whatever. I'm here for it. Jace tells him, you know, he's all over the place in terms of how he feels. You know, he's wondering why Ike is bringing him here. He thought Ike had bought him there to let him down, let him know that he would not be taking the coaching job and that he was going to go to C places. But then Ike ends up telling him, like, nothing is going to be easy. And so with him saying that, it kind of is giving like a foreshadowing tea because Jace also say he feels like something really big is about to happen, which is also foreshadowing because something big is about to happen because we know the coach, Crystal's PG Prime coach, is trifling. Now, he has pissed me off because he feels like, you know, he's watching film and whatnot from the Cedar Cove game and he hears a voice say, let's go, let's go, let's go. And it sounds familiar to him, so it triggers a flashback to him or whatever. And basically the flashback is that the night that Jace and the guys jumped him. He comes to terms to think that, you know, it was some of the Cedar Cove players. And so now he calls the reporter who he was good with back in the day to get a story going because now he's out of jail and he's on probation. His life has been wrecked, you know, rightfully so, because he had no business doing what he was doing. But now, since his life got messed up because of the ill decisions that he made, he feel like he can go and try to wreck somebody else's. And I don't like that because, for one, the wording that he chose was that Crystal decided to have these guys do this. I know she had something to do with it. Am I getting in episode 2? Yes, but either way, we'll talk about it. The fact of the matter is, first episode was good. This show was good. Period, point blank. I have no complaints. But stay with me because we will get into more things in episode 2. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, CurlyK919, and I'll be back with more videos. Deuces.